Who's the strangest person you've met? Oh, I've got one. And I need you to stay with me because this starts incredibly normal and gets progressively more unhinged as it goes. His name was Gerald. I met him on a train from Manchester to London about 4 years ago. Window seat, quiet carriage, headphones in, completely prepared to have zero human interaction for 2 hours and 12 minutes. Gerald sat next to me at Stockport, beige coat, thermos flask, a laminated card on a lanyard around his neck that I couldn't quite read. I clocked him, looked away, went back to my music. 10 minutes later, he tapped my arm. I took one headphone out. He pointed at the window and said, "That field there, that's where they found the second one." And then he faced forward again like he hadn't said anything at all. He said he'd tell me at Birmingham. So now I'm on a train with a man who has information he's rationing by stop. I could not tell if I was in danger or in the presence of something genuinely extraordinary. The laminated lanyard was doing nothing to help me decide. Birmingham came, he unscrewed his thermos, poured himself something that smelled like a forest, and told me that in 1983 2 meteorites had landed in that field within 4 minutes of each other. Not 1, 2, 4 minutes apart. He said the odds of that were so astronomical that he dedicated 11 years of his retirement to figuring out why. I said, "That's fascinating, Gerald. What did you find?" He said he'd tell me at Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes. He was dispensing the most interesting conversation I'd ever had on a train in geographic installments. Milton Keynes came. He reached into his coat and pulled out a folder. Not a normal folder, a laminated, color-coded, tabbed folder with a level of organization that suggested Gerald had never once in his life lost anything. Inside were photographs, maps, handwritten calculations, and what appeared to be correspondence with 3 different universities. 2 of them had written back. One had called his work genuinely compelling, in writing, to Gerald, on headed paper. He walked me through his theory for 40 minutes. I understood maybe 30% of it, but the 30% I understood was genuinely fascinating. Something about gravitational resonance and the specific geology of that part of Cheshire, creating a kind of cosmic landing pattern. I'm making it sound simpler than it was. I asked him what the laminated lanyard said. He turned it around. It said Gerald in large letters, and underneath, "Please return to carriage C if found." I said, "Gerald, are you okay?" He said his wife Helen had made it because he had a tendency to wander when he was thinking, and she worried. He said it with such complete straightforward sincerity that I nearly cried on a train to London. We pulled into Euston. Gerald packed his folder away with the precision of a man who had packed that folder 10,000 times. Screwed his thermos shut. Stood up. I asked if he'd ever published his findings. He said he was waiting until he was certain. Said he'd rather be right than published. Then he tapped the side of his nose, which is a thing I thought only happened in films, and walked off into Euston Station in his beige coat. I think about Gerald a lot, actually. Somewhere out there, he's on a train, thermos in hand, laminated lanyard, waiting for Birmingham to tell someone the first part. I hope Helen always knows which carriage he's in.